Hello and welcome to the Sports Center YouTube channel. We're here today talking about big fight reaction from last night's card over in Saudi, the Bivol against Beterbiev. We're going to get into the undercard first, so without further ado, let's get straight into it. So firstly, I don't know, for those who have seen it, me and Carl did a bit of a preview show the other day. Benn Whitaker, we're both looking forward to this fight. You know, he's an exciting fighter. I was saying on the pod the other day that it reminds me a bit of Nassim Hamed. For those of you who remember him, I'm showing my age a bit now, but you know, he's got the flair, he's got the razzmatazz. You know, he fights with his hands low. Didn't see any of that. Do you know what? And full credit to his opponent as well, Liam Cameron. He came out straight away. The first round, you could have probably given it to either fighter really, but second round, Cameron came out. He caught him with a nice right hand coming out of a clinch, and Whitaker just never got into his groove. You know, Cameron landed some decent shots in the third round, and you just noticed that Whitaker, he was relying on his movement. You know, he was trying to bob and weave and get out of the way of the shots, and he was just standing square on. And yeah, fair enough if you want to bob and weave and fancy tactic, but he was getting caught, and he had to switch it up, and he just never did, and he never got into his groove. And as I said, fair play to his opponent, Cameron, but he never let him, and he caught him with some really good shots. And then for those of you who've seen the fight, you've seen how it happened. Both guys ended up basically going head over heels over the top rope, and you know, we've seen Whitaker leave the arena in a wheelchair, and a question that I want to ask is, did he bottle it? Did he know that potentially? I mean, look, the fight got called as a draw, which I think was a bit ridiculous. I think Cameron took it, or well, he should have took it, in my opinion. Did Whitaker bottle it? Did he know that he was in a fight there? You know, he couldn't get in his groove. He couldn't get the hands going, his normal style. You know, we saw none of the flair, none of the swagger that he normally comes out with. And I don't know, I think maybe he just didn't fancy it after that. And he thought, hang on a minute, I could potentially use this as an escape to get out of here while I've still got me pride and my dignity intact. And that's how that one finished. Moving on to Eubank Jr., alright fight. He did what he needed to do. Look, I think the guy's been out of the ring for over 12 months as Eubank Jr. Tricky opponent, not one that many people have even heard of, but he's been in with some decent opponents. He got the job done. He got the job done, and listen, I feel a bit sorry for his opponent because it was all about fucking Conor Benn, wasn't it? You know, and listen, I don't normally mind Conor Benn, but honestly, like, over the last couple of days, I just thought, you know what, mate, you just need to fuck off. Like, it pisses me off how he can't fight over in Britain because he never fucking cleared his name, and he's giving it all the bigger now about, it's good to look at that fight will happen. It will happen, and I've seen an interview with Turki Al-Sheikh saying basically that he wants to put that fight on, so no doubt that fight is going to end up in Saudi, it's going to go over to Saudi, no, whatever, it is what it is. But literally, as soon as the fight will finish, fucking Conor Benn is in the ring, like literally split seconds after. I'm like, mate, just fuck off. Like, let the fucking judges, let the referee, let the announcers do the thing first, and then come in and, if you want to square up with your fucking slick back haircut looking like an absolute bell end, I'm like, mate, just fuck off, honestly. I ain't got a dog in the fight really in terms of Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn, but after seeing how he's conducted himself over his last few days, I hope Eubank bangs him out. I don't think he will, personally. I think it's a bit of a mismatch in weights, and as I say, I felt a bit sorry for Eubank's opponent last night because it was just basically promoting fucking Conor Benn and Eubank coming up in however many months, years' time. Moving on, Wardley against Clark. So for those of you who have seen our preview show, I remember Carl saying that he wasn't looking forward to this, and you know, it wasn't really getting his juices going. And honestly, we're over quick. First round knockout, Wardley, but what a knockout as well. Apparently, and I hope he's okay, Clark needed surgery after that knockout. You'd seen him, I put a pic up, you'd seen basically him fucking propping himself up on the ropes, like his jaw were over in another fucking country. Honestly, it were bad, and I hope he's okay. I hope he can come back and he can fight again. But it was a bad knockout. And do you know what I liked about Wardley? He had him shook. I don't know, maybe 10, 15 seconds before, but his finish was calculated. He didn't dive in. He didn't risk getting caught. Because look, at the end of the day, he had Clark shook, but this is heavyweight boxing. We've seen it with Anthony Joshua and Dubois. A few weeks ago, AJ rocked Dubois, and he rushed in. He rushed in to try and get the knockout. He didn't. He didn't calculate his next moves, and he got caught, and he ended up getting knocked out himself. So that's what I was quite impressed with about that finish. And Wardley's put himself in the mix for some bigger and better fights coming up. So we'll see who he ends up getting in the ring with next. And then we move over to the main event, Bivol Beterbiev. And listen, this did not disappoint. Two absolute technicians, masters of their art, absolute class fighters going head to head, blow for blow. And while we didn't get any fireworks, shall we say, we didn't get any kind of, I'd say, big punches. You know what I mean? Like neither fighter was really. I think a couple in the 7th round where they potentially needed Alex, but all in all, it were a fight for the pure boxing fans, and as I say, it didn't disappoint. What did disappoint was the scorecards, or one judge's scorecard in particular. So I've got them here. So one of them was 114, which you could argue potentially it could have swung both ways. 115, 113. Again, you can't get mad about this one. 116, 112. I don't see any way in which Beterbiev had that fight by 4 rounds. Look, we all know boxing. We all know that it's fucking down to opinion. Some judges prefer to score on punches landed. Some judges prefer to score more on who's the aggressor, who's coming forward all the time. And listen, Beterbiev was coming forward. He was stalking down Bivol all the time. But Bivol, in those, potentially the first 6 rounds, his footwork, his movement was brilliant. He was going bam, bam, 1-2 combos, and he was in and out all the time. He was just literally circling the ring, but he wasn't circling as if he was like, I'm trying to get away from this guy. He was in, bam, 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 throwing a couple 1-2 combos, and then getting out, move. His footwork was unbelievable, and I had Bivol taking the first. If I'm being generous, I could have given him the first 6. He definitely took the first 4. I think no way which that fight had Beterbiev as winning. I think you can probably give the maybe the last two or 3 out of the championship rounds, so 10, 11, 12. I reckon you could have given Beterbiev at least 2 of them. And look, for those of you who watched it, I don't know whether you watched it on Sky or DAZN, but you actually heard on the DAZN commentary his corner saying, I think it was at the end of the 9th, going into the 10th, I think it was either at the end of the 9th or end of the 10th, one of them anyway, saying basically, we need a knockout. We need to knock this guy out if we're going to win. And surely, you could see, like, I think Eddie Hearn said it on all his interviews as well, you'd seen the body language of him after in Beterbiev's corner. They thought they'd lost that fight. At a push, you could have given them the draw, but I just didn't see a world in which they scored it how they did. But I've heard in a couple of group chats different things. As I say, it depends. As I said before, some people like to score it on the aggressor. Some people like to score it on clean shots. It's all up for opinions. And again, this is boxing, this shit has been going on for fucking years, and it's never going to stop. And it's why we love it, because it just defines opinions. It gets everyone talking. But let us know in the comments below, what did you think? Well, about all the fights really, but especially the outcome of the Bivol Beterbiev. Who did you have winning that fight? Were the scorecards correct? Let us know in the comments. Smash that thumbs up button if you like the video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It really helps us grow the channel, and we want to keep delivering this content for you guys. So yeah, thumbs up, smash the subscribe button, and I'll catch you later.